Alright, I think I'm live. Just getting a coffee. How's it going, everybody? Kind of phoned it in with the thumbnail today, but it's kind of hard to come up with a new idea every single time. Socialist Mango Tree, what are you talking about? You were typing some stuff in chat. I don't know what you're upset at. Stream just started, yes. Welcome, everybody. I think I might do, just do a drawing comic. Do a drawing stream. I have a couple comics that I want to draw. Sorry, 1 second. Turn this volume up. I posted the U.S. airdropping food aid to Gaza comic that I drew on stream on Monday, I think, or Sunday. I posted that on the r/Polandball subreddit this morning, and it's doing really well. Very popular. My phone has actually been blowing up with notifications all day. It's like every 2-3 minutes there's a new comment on the thread. Aaron also posted a similar comic about half an hour ago on the sub if you want to go check it out. America's Good Deed is what it's called. So I want to finish this. I'm turning this into a 2-panel comic. Very simple, since I've annoyed you guys with my proselytizing about the sci-fi series, The Three-Body Problem. Let's see, panel 2. This is the background. I can turn this into a very quick Planetball comic. So for those of you who might not be familiar with Planetball is the same thing as Polandball, except with planets, celestial objects, whatever, instead of countries and international organizations, states, other kinds of political subdivisions. So this should be pretty quick. Second panel will just be 3 stars and 1 planet and a little bit of text. I don't want to spoil too much of the series because there's a Netflix adaptation that is coming out in March. Oh, it's March now. It's coming out in like 2 weeks or something. And I'm really looking forward to it. But this is probably the best sci-fi series I've ever read. Like, I've read better sci-fi for sure, but like this series was so good. Alright, so let's merge these. Background. Let's do panel 2. Let's do like a light gray background. And then I have my ideas document up, and then I'll draw some new comics. You made a meme on r/meme that got 10k upvotes. You could not read any of the comments because they were too fast. Yeah. That's a much bigger subreddit than the Polandball sub. Polandball sub is, I think, about to hit 666,000 subs. What's that? Oh, no, it already did. It's at 666,342. So it's almost at 666,666. People like geography-related memes for some reason. Yeah, there's a ton of like geography-related subs. And history subs, geopolitics subs that have a lot of overlap. And I think Polandball just has a lot of cross-appeal to those kinds of communities. You know, if you like flags, history, geopolitics, the news, comics, you know, that hits all the... Polandball hits all those different communities. So let's see what I want to do. I wanted to maybe copy this first panel just to get the right dimensions. And then I'll erase it. Okay. So here, so the original panel with the sun and the planets, I made it on such a large canvas that I had to scale it down to put it in comic form, so it's a little bit compressed. It doesn't look great, but good enough. The last Planetball comic was posted 19 days ago. It's not quite a dead subreddit. It just doesn't get a lot of posts. But when you do post something, it'll get a couple hundred upvotes. Okay. So we're gonna do a tiny little planet. What color should it be? I was thinking like purplish gray. And this planet is called Trisolaris. Play Naira FM USA. What is that? Radio Naira. Bollywood Radio. I don't know if it's... I'd have to look into it to see if it's copyright free. My favorite ball subreddit is company balls. I had no idea there was such a thing. Is it just like balls but with corporate logos? Oh, these are... Okay, these are actually kind of interesting. Google Ball. PBS Ball. YouTube Ball. These are pretty funny. It's so absurd. Ford Ball. Oh, it's like one guy who's making most of these comics. Interesting. You believe the planet Vulcan exists? I'm sure that there's an exoplanet that has been named after Vulcan. I want to say that Vulcan in Star Trek lore is supposed to orbit Epsilon Eridani, which is an actual star. So one of the things that I like about sci-fi is when they use actual star names that exist. So like Hyperion, which is next on my reading list, uses a ton of stars, I think, that are, you know, real stars. All right. So this is make it like an Earth-sized planet, something like that. And it's going to be broken up a little bit. Oof. Whoops. Kepler 11e. Let me Google it. This is a Neptune-like planet. Kepler 11e is an exoplanet discovered in the orbit of the Sun-like star Kepler 11. It is the fourth of 6 planets around Kepler 11 discovered by NASA's Kepler spacecraft. Kepler 11e was found using the transit method, in which the dimming effect that a planet causes as it crosses in front of its star is measured. It's most likely a gas giant like Neptune, having a density that is less than Saturn, the least dense planet in the solar system. Okay, so yeah, its low density can probably be attributed to a large hydrogen and helium atmosphere. Kepler 11e has a mass 8 times Earth's and a radius 4.5 times Earth's. The planet orbits the star every 31 days in an ellipse that would fit within the orbit of Mercury. Its discovery was announced February 2nd, 2011, with its 5 sister planets. Man, I would love to... I wish we had, like, photos of other planets, you know? Like, we have direct images of, like, the hot Jupiters, super Jupiters, whatever. Like, really big gas giants around certain stars. But, like, I want to see more than, like, 2 or 3 pixels, you know? I know it's not possible without, like, actually sending a not faster than light, but, like... Unless we can move at relativistic speeds, we're not going to really be able to see the surface of a lot of these worlds. Your second favorite is Polandball. Polandball should be your first favorite. Polandball's quality has remained basically the same for 13 years. I've been using Reddit for a long time, 15 years or so, 15, 16 years. I can tell you that basically every other sub that doesn't have quality control becomes garbage at a certain point. Polandball has not. So I am drawing a Planetball comic. I'm finishing it because I have wanted to draw or finish this for a while, and I just haven't gotten around to it. And it's only one... Whoops. It's only a 2-panel comic, so it should be pretty easy. So I kind of want, like... showing the planet breaking up. I don't want to give too many spoilers, but yeah, this is based on the 3-body problem. It's a really good sci-fi novel. I found that most of the people who don't like the 3-body problem are like really uber super book nerds that don't like popular things, you know, like contrarian opinions. I've watched a lot of like YouTube reviews, booktube sort of community. And, like, the people who like gatekeeping reading as a thing don't like the 3-body problem. Not all of them, but I found that most of the reviews, like the negative reviews that I've seen, are it's like that kind of person. And I think it's super... Like, contrarianism is a very shallow enterprise. But I highly recommend it. I thought the concepts in the book were so cool. And I am going to watch the Netflix adaptation. Hopefully it's not terrible. What was Reddit like in the old days? Reddit was better in 2008, 2009. It was much smaller. Like, it was a way, way smaller website than it is today. It was nerdier. It was still, like, more at the forefront of, like, internet culture and meme culture than it is today. Like, today you get more of that on, like, probably, like, TikTok and Instagram and stuff. Just because by sheer mass, those platforms are just more significant to the internet now. Does this kind of look like a planet being ripped apart? I think that kind of does, right? HD 149026b is an interesting planet. Let's Google it. Oh, it's another gas giant. Formerly named Smertrios. It's an extrasolar planet on a hot Jupiter around 250 light years from the Sun. It's in the constellation Hercules. It has a 2.8766 day period planet or orbit. around a yellow subgiant star HD 149026 at a distance of 0.042 AU, or about 4 million miles from its star. It has an exceptionally large planetary core. I don't know. I have a hard time getting excited about gas giants, just because if we don't, we're not going to find life on a gas giant. You know, like, sure, is it theoretically possible for life to exist like in the upper atmosphere where it might be temperate and allow for some interesting chemistry to happen of a gas giant? Yes. Is it easier than having like a liquid water ocean? No. You know, especially with how common water is in the universe, there's going to be a ton of water worlds out there. So, like, I'm more interested in, like, you know, the actual terrestrial planets in the universe and the rocky moons that a lot of these gas giants are inevitably going to have, right? Like, if you use the Copernican principle, which is essentially the idea that the Earth and our solar system are not unique, then gas giants around the universe are going to have tons of moons, right? Because every single one of the gas giants in our solar system have a ton of moons, you know? Jupiter and Saturn have like 60 plus each. Outer Space Treaty says no claiming space at all. Yeah, the Outer Space Treaty forbids essentially territorial expansion of terrestrial countries into space. And all of the major spacefaring powers are parties to the Outer Space Treaty. I think nearly every country is. Let me check. There's another one called the Moon Treaty, I think, which doesn't have nearly as many signatories. Outer Space Treaty. Yeah, most countries are signatories to the Outer Space Treaty. All of the major space powers are. It's basically like some African countries and a couple of Central Asian states like Serbia and Albania that aren't party to the Outer Space Treaty. But yeah, the Outer Space Treaty has been enforced since 1967 and is the basis of space law. All right, so I have to add eyes. It's going to be kind of hard to show eyes on a half-broken planet, you know? That's not great. Kepler 22b. What is Kepler 22b? Super Earth could be covered in the super ocean. It was the first known transiting planet to orbit within the habitable zone of a sun-like star where liquid water could exist on the planet's surface. 640 light years away. It seems like it might be too massive for... There's a problem with a lot of the super Earths that we find, is that when a terrestrial planet becomes bigger than Earth, like Earth is already the densest planet in the solar system, right? So it has a very powerful... it has pretty strong gravity as far as terrestrial planets go. At a certain point, a planet becomes too massive for chemical rockets to get you to escape velocity. I forget what the term for it is, but like if the Earth were... I don't know exactly how much bigger it would have to be, but if the Earth were, I don't know, like 50% bigger than it is now, like 50% more massive, which is similar to a lot of the super Earths that we find, we would not be able to use chemical rockets to get into orbit. It wouldn't work. There's not enough potential energy in the conversion of chemical energy into kinetic energy to get you to escape velocity. The gravity is just too strong. So it's totally possible that you have all of these terrestrial worlds out there in the universe that are just too massive for any of its life, even if it has intelligent life, to ever escape. Which is super depressing, but it's also it sort of serves as a reminder that, you know, Earth really is kind of... It's kind of amazing that it's as hospitable as it is, you know, because I watched a video about this last night, actually, on the Cool Worlds channel, which I highly recommend to all of you if you're at all interested in space. About how we really haven't found nearly as many Earth-like planets as we thought we would when we started sending up a bunch of space-based telescopes that could potentially look at or potentially find Earth-like exoplanets, which is super depressing. Okay, let's add some cracks into the surface. Okay, that's good. I think that looks good. I'm gonna merge this. Too many homeless people in California? You're gonna find homeless people all over the country. Don't believe what Fox News says. You're going to see more homeless people in California because you're going to see more people in California. It's the biggest state, you know? You'd rather live in the US than anywhere else, and that's a fact. I'll be the first to criticize the US for a litany of reasons. I have a lot of problems with the US, but there are a few places I think that are better. It really is one of the best places, I think, on Earth to live. You know, barring sort of like some of the... I guess I'll put it this way. If you're like a sort of median income individual, you know, not terribly ambitious, you're not looking to like... you know, push the envelope of what's possible for you materially, then most of like Western and Northern Europe is probably going to be better because you'll have a more comfortable life with a more modest income than in the United States. In the United States, if you have like a comparable income, you don't have the social services that Europeans might. So, you know, if you get sick, you might be fucked, right? Now, that being said, if you are wealthy, and I don't necessarily mean like billionaire level wealthy, I mean like if you're making, you know, $200,000-$300,000 a year or more, there is no country better on earth than the US because your money goes a long way here. And you can buy anything your heart desires, you know? You have a like-hate relationship with the US? I feel like most people probably have a love-hate relationship with their own country. I mean, I certainly do. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great places around the world. I wouldn't want to limit myself to just living in, you know, the country I was born. You know, like I love the U.S., but I've lived in other countries, and I would totally like if someone came up to me today and offered me like a similar standard of living that I have now, but in Paris, I would move in a heartbeat. I wouldn't say no. Spy3434, welcome. Godzilla, you live in Switzerland? Switzerland looks gorgeous. I've only visited once. And it was just like a day trip over the border from Italy. Okay. We gotta draw some stars now. So we're gonna draw 2 sun-like stars. And then 1 red dwarf. Saudi Arabia kind of a dictatorship or something? Kind of, yeah. That's understating it, you know? I mean, Saudi Arabia is a monarchy. Like, that's... like an actual monarchy, you know? The fact that monarchy still exists is fucking embarrassing in the 21st century. Okay, so this will be... one big star here. So one of these stars is like 1.2 solar masses. The other one's about 0.9, and the other one's like 0.1 or something. That looks okay. USA economy, culture, and living experience way better than the places y'all mentioned. I don't know. Much of culture is subjective, so like saying our culture is better than yours is kind of like a nonsensical argument, you know? Isn't monarchy almost the same thing as dictatorship now? Not necessarily, because you can have different kinds of monarchies, right? Like you have constitutional monarchies like Belgium or Norway or United Kingdom, where the monarch doesn't actually have any power, you know? They're just a ceremonial figure. And then you can have actual monarchies where the monarch actually has power, like Saudi Arabia, where the monarch is effectively a dictator. But maybe the power isn't as centralized in the monarch in Saudi Arabia as, say, the power is centralized in, like, Vladimir Putin, right? Even though Vladimir Putin's not a monarch, he's a dictator. Oops. Okay. That's one star down. Two more. We'll do a slightly brighter one. So this will be star B. It'll be a little bit farther away. That's not a very good circle. That's better. I should add rays of light as well. Well, maybe not. Well, no, probably not. It's not going to see them in space. This, and then outline, okay. And then let's do a red dwarf. Your family has plans on going to Mexico, any thoughts? I haven't really been, I haven't spent much time in Mexico. I've only been south of the border for like a day trip. Do I support Scottish independence? If they want it, sure. It's not up to me. Hello, new chatter. Doesn't say a name, but hi. Okay, this will be C. Trying to decide how big this should be. It's gonna, all these stars are at different distances, you know, so like their size doesn't need to be, shouldn't be similar. Draw a goddamn circle. But, all right. Have this come out a little bit more. Okay, this is pretty good. This is actually turning out better than I thought it would. Help, you accidentally killed Conrad last stream. Rip in peace. Australia seems fun. I would like to see Australia at some point, but it takes forever to get there. It's on the opposite side of the country from me. And it's also... I could do without all, like, the wildlife trying to kill you, you know? Rip in peace, yep. Alright, let's add some eyes. They're not gonna have sunglasses, because they're not... these guys have no chill. So, which one is this? B? Okay, eyes over B. No, no good. I don't know how I feel about that. That eye. Let's move the one on the right over a bit. Okay, I kind of like that. This is for B. Move it over a little bit so the eyes are pointing in the direction of the planet. Let's do eyes over C. So we go down to 3 pixels for... Well, let's do 4 pixels for this one. And we're just going to give one eye, side eye. And then another set of eyes for A. Let's do 8 pixels. this eye needs to be brought in a little bit. Let's see, 100%. Let's try bringing these down a bit. Okay. Now you add stars to the background. So that'll be the just above the last layer. What is layer 1? Okay, so it needs to be above that. So stars. I'm just gonna do a bunch of like single pixels. Do white, yellow, red, blue, orange. Can't say I'll stream, but we'll watch after. Also Saturday morning cartoons. I actually don't think I'm going to be able to stream tomorrow morning, unfortunately. But maybe Sunday. But I have plans tomorrow morning. Unless they fall through. If they fall through, I'll stream. Would you guys go to space if someone offered? Alright, let's do yellow. Let's do orange, reddish. No. Yes, yes, yes. You're a little astrophobic, but absolutely no. You hate heights, but 100% no. It's not quite like being high up, though, right? Like, at a certain point, your perspective has to change. You're absolutely staying on Earth. Let's do some blue. I would absolutely go into space if I had the opportunity. Alpha Centauri. I don't want to make any spoilers. Go read the 3 Body Problem trilogy. Okay, now we add text. And 48 point. Let's try 24. What font is this? Let's go do Calibri regular. I'm gonna post this on Planetball. r/Planetball. Uh-oh. Stream disconnect? we have Alpha Centauri A and B, where's Alpha Centauri C? It's Proxima Centauri. So the Alpha Centauri system is a triple star system. Rigel Centaurus is Alpha Centauri A, Ptolemy is Alpha Centauri B, and Proxima Centauri is Alpha Centauri C. All right. Let's merge these layers. Okay. I crop this. This comic is done. Keep an eye out for it on r/Planetball. I will post it probably tomorrow morning. Just save it. Planetball. When was the last Planetball comic I made? Like 9 years ago, I think. All right. And this was the. Oh, you know what? No, I didn't finish this. Okay, let's make this a little bit smaller. Okay, now it's done. I just need to label it so people understand what this is. You just read all of it and it's a Simpsons reference? You can't escape it? Yeah, this is a Simpsons reference as well. We need someone to name space stuff better. I totally agree. I hate all that, like, you know, Kepler 11e. Like, let's give these planets some cool names, you know? Like, I get that there's also, awaiting, they're given, like, temporary names before they're officially named. But, like, there should be a better way of doing it. Why is Proxima Centauri much brighter than our star? So, read the book. It's not brighter. It's just, when you're closer to a star, it doesn't matter if it's small. You know, like, if you're a lot closer to a red dwarf than you are to a yellow dwarf, it's not going to look small or faint, dim, you know? We need a planet named Hot Rod. Agreed. Would I rather live in Iceland? Or sorry, would I rather live in the Falklands or Greenland? Greenland, 100%. Greenland at least is like near North America and Europe, you know? So like if you wanted to visit, you could go somewhere else. Greenland also just looks a lot prettier than the Falklands. The Falklands seems kind of shit. And then you're really only near Argentina and Chile. It's also British, so... Imagine living in a British-owned island that's worse than Great Britain. Right? Like, that's really something. Wake up, you're not real. I've been in a coma for 20 years after a car crash. It's one of those things I think about. You know, like, what if I'm dead or something, you know? This is purgatory. You do know there's an exoplanetary system where there are 3 diamond planets, Greenland, PSR 857, a lot of numbers. Yeah, there's a lot of like speculation about the composition of certain planets and given like their composition and what we think the pressure is like, that they'd essentially have diamonds. Either like it rains diamonds or something, or it has a diamond core. Yeah, I think Greenland would be cool to live in. Let's see. How much flights are to Greenland? Where do you even fly? I don't know. I don't forget the name of that large settlement, like the capital city or whatever. Iceland Air flies to Greenland. That makes sense. Greenland. Nook. Alright, let's see. If I were to leave, let's say, April 25th to April 28th. No flights. Okay. How the hell do you get to Greenland? Is it just... It looks like it's just Iceland Air and JetBlue for me. 18 hours, one stop. Where's that stop? Do you fly to Iceland and then from Iceland to Greenland? I guess that would make sense. It'd be like $1,200 cheapest. That's crazy. I would like to see Greenland before it melts. Danish Air flies... Yeah, I mean, that would make sense, too. You'll go to Greenland one day. It's on the bucket list. I really want to go to Antarctica. My more exotic travel bucket list is... Antarctica's the top. There are minor planets named Vilnius and Stalingrad. It's interesting. It would be the most sick thing to say, you live in Greenland. Nobody lives in Greenland, though. You know, it's like 200,000 people total, right? It's really, really small. It seems like, yeah, it would be super dope to visit, but I would absolutely, like, not want to grow up there and be, like, one of 4 kids, you know? Alright, so I'm done with this comic. What's next? You love when planets are named after people themselves? Alright, so this is... I don't know if this is a hot take, but I don't like naming things after people. I think it's dumb. I think it's narcissistic when people name companies after themselves, for example. You know, like when you have a law firm that's like Johnson, Johnson and Smith, I think that's super fucking tacky, you know? I've always hated that. I think it's just so... It's so egotistical, right? But that's naming things after yourself, right? But I don't like naming things after people either, because people will always complain when they find out that, hey, this person was flawed like everyone else in history, right? Youngblood, see you later. Thanks for joining. For example, there was some hubbub before the James Webb Space Telescope launched where, you know, people start navel gazing because Twitter says something stupid, right? Like, Twitter isn't real life. When people complain on Twitter, just fucking ignore them. Twitter is garbage. All right, but people on Twitter were complaining about how I guess James Webb was a NASA administrator in the 60s, you know, instrumental in helping set up the organization, and there were accusations that he was like homophobic, you know, And like there really was, NASA did like some kind of internal review to see whether or not they should rename the space telescope, and they found that he didn't really do anything homophobic. But like a white American man in the 1960s was probably homophobic, you know. So like it's either you don't name things after anyone, or you don't complain about it, you know. Like they're very obvious examples. Like you're not going to name something after Stalin or Hitler, right? But like a flawed person who otherwise, you know, was a good person is an entirely different thing, right? But you can bypass this entire issue by just not naming shit after people, right? Like I hate how American aircraft carriers are named after presidents. I think it's so stupid. Like I get that a lot of American presidents were in the Navy. Like, you know, we have the USS John F. Kennedy, the Gerald R. Ford, the Ronald Reagan. I don't like it. It's just dumb. Like, especially when the alternative is you could name them Enterprise, Yorktown, Saratoga, Hornet, Intrepid. You know, the British have got some great names. Warspite, Dreadnought. Those are fucking badass, right? The French nuclear submarines. Le Terrible is the best name for a ballistic missile nuclear submarine. So cool. Don't name shit after people. It's not intimidating. They don't sound cool. Like the Charles de Gaulle aircraft carrier. Fuck that. Name it, you know, Fraternité or something. So yeah, I don't like when things are named after people. Last execution by guillotine was in 1977 in France, though, right? I think that was the last execution in France, not the last execution in general. But I mean, it's fitting that that's what their last execution was. All right. What am I drawing? You like presidents' names on our aircraft carriers? I think it's super lame. I'm sorry. Like, I know it ultimately doesn't matter, but here, I'm gonna pull up a list of aircraft carriers. I think it's tacky. John F. Kennedy, Gerald R. Ford, George H.W. Bush, Ronald Reagan, Harry S. Truman, John C. Stennis, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Theodore Roosevelt, Carl Vinson, Dwight D. Eisenhower, the Nimitz. They're not as cool as like CV-66 is just America, Kitty Hawk class. The Enterprise, right? Enterprise, we're building another Enterprise aircraft carrier. Constellation is great. Kitty Hawk is great. Independence, Ranger, Saratoga, Saipan, Philippine Sea, Iwo Jima, Valley Forge, Coral Sea, Midway, Shangri-La, Princeton, Antietam. These are so much better. Ticonderoga, yeah, Hornet, Intrepid, Yorktown, Essex, Wasp, Lexington. Those are much better. Here, let me find HMS Resolution. That's a great name. Harry S. Truman is a badass name. I don't think so. I mean, Truman was a pretty consequential president. Don't get me wrong. But, I don't know. I still just don't think naming things after people is cool. What about Wolverine and USS CNB? What is that? You know what's cool? The ship names in Halo. Those are some of like the best fictional names for like space warships. Forward Unto Dawn, Pillar of Autumn. What else did they have? A risk worth taking. A road of good intentions. A song for the dying. Those are cool. Above us only sky. Those are pretty sick. Shadow of Intent was a Covenant capital ship. Leviathan. That's a good name for a ship. Do you feel lucky? That's a good one. Ascendant Justice, Harbinger of Piety, Long Night of Solace, Say My Name, Truth and Reconciliation, Resplendent Fervor, Twilight Compunction, Heart of Midlothian, All Under Heaven, Halcyon, Unto the Breach. Those are great names. So, that's another thing. I think I mentioned this on stream before, but you know, like, how there have been, yeah, let's do the alignment chart, just because I'm just talking to chat right now. Let me find it. Okay. So we were doing North America. But, one of the things that I also don't like is when you ask the public to name something, and then you reject what the public said. You know? Try saying your name. You don't have one. Do something instead of spitting out Navy ship names. Yeah, we're going to do the alignment chart. Okay. So here, let me pull up Europe. We did an alignment chart for Europe last night. Lawful good, we put Germany. And this is at present. Neutral good, we put Estonia. Chaotic good, Ukraine. Lawful neutral is Austria. True neutral is Switzerland, because who else would it have been? Chaotic neutral is Turkey. Lawful evil is Hungary. Neutral evil is Serbia. And chaotic evil is Russia. I thought these were pretty good picks. I think the ones I took most issue with here were, I think, Turkey and chaotic neutral. And I guess that's really the main one, because I don't know that Turkey should be in... well, I don't know. I think this is okay. There's a lot of Polandball / Country Ball lost media. You have 5 seconds to think of a new name for Earth. What is it? I don't know. Earth-chan? I like that. Alright, so we were doing North America. Let's finish North America. We did 4 countries already. Lawful good, we put Costa Rica. Chaotic good, we have Canada. True neutral, we have Mexico. Chaotic neutral, we have US. So again, if you're not familiar with the D&D alignment chart, the y-axis is morality, and the x-axis is legality. Cuba, I thought, makes sense for lawful neutral. Let me find the Cuban flag. Streaming. There's nothing chaotic about Canada. I disagree. I think Canada occasionally flagrates international norms and laws and does questionable things. And it gets away with it because Canada's identity is basically built on the idea that it's not the United States. So people give it a pass just because it comes across as a more, it comes across as like a more reasonable version of the United States, right? U.S. and good and lawful. No, I think U.S. is like the poster child for chaotic neutral. Like, you can't look at the past, like, literally all of American history and not come to the conclusion that it's chaotic neutral. Like, it says it stands for certain things, and then it pursues its interests in a way that violates its self-proclaimed principles, you know? Like, the idea of self-determination, and then meanwhile you go and, you know, you conquer and wipe out the indigenous people, you conquer their territory, and then you create your own actual conventional empire with, like, the Philippines and Cuba and Puerto Rico and Hawaii, right? Nicaragua, lawful evil. Okay, let's do, I'm gonna draw Cuba for lawful neutral. If you guys make a big think about it, I'm open to changing it, but I think Cuba makes sense as lawful neutral. I think Cuba's also the 4th largest country in North America by population, right? It's like 25 million people. And I felt like, because there aren't that many countries in North America, and half of them are like tiny island nations, Mexico, Canada, US all have to show up somewhere on this chart. That's a bad ball. It's got a dent in its head. Let's do the eyes. 3 pixel. What about UK on the chart? I don't want to put, like... So I know that there are a number of European countries that technically have, like, territories in the Caribbean, for example. But we already did Europe, you know? Okay. How many stripes is this? 3 blue stripes. Okay. Ah! Lines behind Cuba. Okay. Clean that up. Let's merge all of the... Oh no, don't merge the eyes yet. Oh, I need to do the red lines. Okay. Oops. I need to draw for Polandball news. Probably later tonight. Oops. Okay. Cuba is lawful neutral. What's my favorite expression that I can draw within the limitations of Polandball? I really like angry eyes. And I like making a country look tired where you have the, like the lines under the eyes. No one wants UK on the chart and that's not fair. True. Have you guys at Polandball Official considered reaching out to large country ball YouTubers like Polish Tortoise or Ikaria Ball or Unnecessary Serve for future collaborations or basic community? No, not yet. Maybe someday in the future. But we're kind of just doing our own thing, you know, like... Like, I can't speak for everyone on the channel because I don't know everyone on the YouTube channel as well as some others, but like Dick Rhino, Aaron, and myself are very much like comic artists first, you know? Although Dick Rhino has done a lot of YouTube content in the past 5 or 6 years. He has a gaming channel with his wife. But I think this started out as sort of like we kind of know the medium better than anyone else, and we want to sort of preserve the spirit of Polandball as it grows into other places on the internet. You know, I know that there's a lot of country ball content on YouTube, but not much, if any of it, is sort of compliant with the subreddit's rules. And the subreddit is still very much like the place for Polandball comics. But yeah, I mean, we're also an incredibly small channel right now. We're 5.6k subs. That's nothing compared to a lot of big YouTube channels. Where would Greenland be if it counts for an alignment chart? North America. Greenland is geographically and geologically part of North America. So Greenland could be somewhere here. All right. North American countries, neutral good. What's a neutral good country? I was thinking the Bahamas, but I don't know. I'm curious what you guys think. Canada did horrendous thing to the indigenous people. Yeah, so the thing is, basically the entirety of the Americas was subjected to genocide. It wasn't just Canada and the United States. It was the Spanish and the Portuguese when they came to the Americas as well, all right? Basically, everybody that lives in the Americas now is the descendant of conquerors, imperialists, colonizers. Almost everyone, including people who have a significant amount of indigenous blood, are not entirely indigenous, right? It's basically like the uncontacted tribes in the Amazon are like the last people left in the Americas that don't have any kind of like sort of ties to people like outside the continent, you know? And of course, you know, enslaved people were brought to the Americas by European imperialists. But again, you know, they're not indigenous to the Americas either. But yes, they were brought here against their will. But yeah, I mean, the Americas were subjected to almost entirely complete annihilation, you know? There was a lot of like interbreeding among European colonizers, settlers, whatever term you want to use, and then the indigenous population. Consensual and not. So. But like singling out Canada or the United States for being evil, for committing genocide is like, well, I mean, the Spanish and the Portuguese did too, you know? So what do you guys think for neutral good? What North American country should be neutral good? Let me pull up a list of North American countries. You've got a bunch of like those tiny island nations. Let's see. North America. Barbados, Antigua and Barbuda, Belize, Dominican Republic, El Salvador, Grenada, Haiti, Jamaica, Honduras, Nicaragua, Panama. Oh, Panama. Maybe Panama's neutral good. Puerto Rico, neutral good. Puerto Rico's part of the U.S., so it's chaotic neutral with the rest of us. Neutral good could be a good fit for a good suit for Jamaica. I think Panama makes sense. What do you guys think about Panama? You feel like Canada should be neutral evil? Because yes, the Spaniards did bad stuff, but that was in the 1600s. Canada kept residential schools until the 90s. Do we draw Panama as Canadian or no? Yeah. That's kind of what I want to draw it as well. Where it's split in half. No, so Puerto Rico is not its own country, so I'm keeping it strictly at like the national level. St. Lucia. Let's do Panama. Does anyone disagree with Panama? Haiti for neutral evil or lawful evil? Well, it's not lawful, right? There's just that massive prison break. This is just Morocco. Okay, let me find the Panamanian flag. Panama's got a sick flag. I really like it. Alright, here it is. Download flag of Panama. Alright. Also, being able to describe things as Panamanian just sounds cool. I don't think I've ever actually drawn Panama. So this will be fun. So let's do 3 pixel eyes. The eyes will be on the top half. Lines behind Panama. Okay, now we split Panama in half. Let's do... like that. And then... oops. Pull the eyes up more. Yeah, so it's pretty common. I don't think it's required that you draw Panama split in half like this, but it's pretty common. And it's entirely because of the canal, if you're wondering why. Oops. Let's fix these eyes. Yeah, I think Panama is true as neutral good. It's cool. All right, Panama. Done. Now we just have the evil row. So lawful evil, neutral evil, and chaotic evil. So Nicaragua should probably be one of them, right? I don't know. Are there any countries in North America that even fit chaotic evil? I think North America, like by region, has like the highest human development, like highest average human development index, and like democratic index. It's like not perfect, obviously, because you have a few outliers, but generally, like North America is pretty stable. Well-off democratic part of the world. Certainly more than like Africa or the Middle East or Southeast Asia. Nicaragua and Haiti, get them out of the way. Haiti seems like it would be maybe neutral evil, but the problem is that Haiti is basically a failed state. So is it really like the state, like the country that's evil? It's like it's basically like. I don't know. I feel like it's hard to classify Haiti as evil because I don't know. Is Ecuador even stable? Ecuador is in South America. We're doing North America here. I don't know. I actually don't know what is Ecuador the one where they had that their president like tried to commit a coup and then he got removed like a day later or something. Trinidad and Tobago. So the problem is I don't know anything about like these tiny countries. St. Lucia, St. Kitts and Nevis. You could just put like the U.S. in every single one. Just run the gamut. Chaotic evil. So I think I think if Haiti is probably the one that fits best in chaotic evil, just because it is kind of lawless, and it's been run by who were the it was like Doc and Doc Jr., right? That ran the country. It was like it was like Baby Doc and Baby Doc Jr., right? And they were like authoritarian dickheads. Yeah, okay, well, let's do Haiti. Chaotic evil. Wow, the flag is terrible. Haiti never recovered from the earthquake, probably stepped away from where it is for now. Yeah, but it's always been like an unstable and poor country. The earthquake didn't help, for sure. I can't draw. Too flat on top. Don't make your balls flat, boys. Alright, that's decent recovery. gonna make him tired. It's just like one crisis after the other in Haiti, you know? I feel bad. Alright. Lines behind Haiti. Let's get the colors. Some blue on top? Yeah, okay. God, what an ugly flag. Cannons. Oops. Palm tree. Could I practice drawing palm trees from that Miami Vice comic I made? Just do like flags. Good enough. I don't care enough to make this more detailed. Two pixel for the banner. And then 1 pixel, make it kind of look like there's script. Okay. Not bad. Haiti. Some of the lines around the eyes. It's a 2 pixel. Okay. We have lawful evil and chaotic evil left for North America. No space, OG reference, true. Poland wave. Real ballers use their own balls for reference and drawing balls. Let's see. So, in my, very stupid American-centric brain, I don't know anything about Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala, and in my mind, they're all basically the same country, and I know that's wrong, and I know that that might be offensive, but I don't know a goddamn thing about any of those countries. I know that there's like gang violence in some of them, and that they're like weak states. But I really don't know a goddamn thing about them. So I don't know like what would fit lawful. Someone said Nicaragua, I think, for lawful evil or neutral evil. So I don't know. When does stream end? I'll probably end soon. I'm kind of tired and I have other things to do tonight. But I want to finish this alignment chart. You just know that Nicaragua vetoes stuff a lot. Nicaragua has a bit of a coup. Here, let me look at Nicaragua on Wikipedia. (2018 to 2020) Nicaraguan protests. Protests against Daniel Ortega. A series of protests against the president of Nicaragua, Daniel Ortega, and actions performed by his government, dismantling of opposition and violence against peaceful protesters. Protests began in 2014. The construction of the Nicaragua Canal was about to begin. Okay, yeah, Nicaragua is a dictatorship under Daniel Ortega. I guess neutral evil for Nicaragua. Does that make sense? El Salvador and Honduras. Oh yeah, the football war. That I've heard of. All right. Yeah, let's put Nicaragua in. Let's do neutral evil. I can always move these balls around. Balls are meant to be moved. That's a good ball. Holy shit, that's a good ball. Look at that. It's a beautiful ball. I'm gonna duplicate that and then flip it horizontally. Whoa. Close Europe. It's actually the top of the ball is, I think, too high. Looks like an egg. Let's fix that. It's 5 pixel. Fuck, this is gonna look bad. Shit, this looks really bad. Whatever. Whoops. I drew that on the wrong layer. Roses are red, light blue is called aqua. Roses are... Oh, okay. Roses are red, light blue is called aqua, Bitcoin is a legal currency in Nicaragua. Kind of works. Got a triangle. Get this gold. This is a terrible flag. This is one of the worst flags, I think. Just awful. Let's do the seal, hide the eyes. There's way too much going on in this. This is garbage. Look at this. This is so bad. How would anyone approve this flag? It's terrible. It's behind the seal. So terrible. Mountains. I'm not gonna do the rainbow. It's too much effort for like 3 pixels worth of stuff. Was this a Phrygian cap or whatever? Looks like a gnome's hat. Alright, good enough. Eyes. Nicaragua. Alright, lawful evil. North American country. What North American country is lawful evil? What makes the most sense? We could put Greenland as a joke. Pull up some North American countries again. Man, I don't know. I don't know what fits lawful evil. El Salvador? Let me see. I don't think El Salvador makes sense to put it as evil. Like, I don't think it's an authoritarian country. Nicaragua is, so Nicaragua would make more sense as, well, maybe not lawful evil, but... Let's see, Guatemala. Honduras, look those up. Guatemala has the largest economy in Central America. Today I learned. Oh, $111 billion in nominal GDP. It's not very much. Seems like it's a democracy, Guatemala. But Honduras. Yeah, Honduras is a democracy as well. I don't know. I don't know what should go in lawful evil. Just went through like all the South American countries. Are any of those like tiny little islands autocracies? Like St. Lucia? Let's see. St. Lucia is part of the Commonwealth, the British Commonwealth. Interesting. I think St. Lucia is a democracy. Is Barbados a democracy? Barbados. Yeah, it looks like it is. Oh yeah, Barbados was that country that just recently became a republic, right? It used to be part of the Commonwealth as well, and then I think they got rid of the British monarchy. So yeah, they're a republic now, so they can't be evil. They got rid of their monarch. At this point, put Greenland. That's what I'm thinking. I think it'd be funny to put Greenland. Chat, if you had to date any country or breakaway region / territory, what would it be? That's an interesting question. I want to see what chat says. If you had to date any country or breakaway region. Quebec. I want to say Italy. Lawful evil, Greenland. I mean, they have polar bears, but so does Canada. Polar bears will absolutely wreck your shit. I could put Denmark, or the UK or France. Oh, you know what? That would be funny. Lawful evil. We just put like the European powers. Netherlands, France, Britain, Denmark. Let's do that. Monroe Doctrine, baby. Netherlands. Does Spain still own any of the islands in the Caribbean? I don't think they do, right? The Netherlands, France, Britain, and Denmark all still have territory in North America. Am I missing any country? Oops. Why can't I draw a ball here? There we go. That's a good ball. Let's do France. UK is not evil. Good joke. One of I read this comment on Reddit many years ago, and it's, I think, a very apt way of describing Britain. If it wasn't for Nazi Germany, the British Empire would be history's greatest villain. Just put Mississippi in lawful evil. Oh, I like sliding the European powers here. You'll sell your soul if I pull off the perfect circle. One day. Volcanic explosion on the British island Montserrat destroyed half the island and has made said half uninhabitable. UK not evil. The UK is not nearly as evil as it used to be. I mean, that's certainly true. If I did an alignment chart for U.S. states, where would Alabama and California go? I don't know that California would make it on one of these charts. Okay. Get the Danish flag. Let's do eyes for Denmark first. Whoa, scary. Scary Nicaragua. Jump scare. Where did Denmark go? Okay, eyes above Denmark. Let's get the red. Lines behind Denmark. Go back to your own continent, Denmark. Put the South. Confederate States of America. Well, the Confederacy doesn't exist anymore. They also weren't lawful evil. They would have been chaotic evil, since they literally broke the law by declaring succession in the first place, you know? They'd be neutral or chaotic. Evil. Alright. Whoops. Merge Denmark. Netherlands flag. Has anyone here been to the Netherlands? I've only ever been through the airport in Amsterdam. Schiphol or whatever however it's pronounced. Schiphol? Schiphol? Dutch is a silly language. I would like to visit the Netherlands. U.S. state alignment chart. We'll do one eventually, yeah. I want to do like all the major regions of the world first. So we did Europe and North America, and then we should do Asia. We'll do like Southeast Asia / South Asia. Actually, no. We should do, I think, South Asia and Central Asia. And then like East Asia and Southeast Asia. Oceania, Sub-Saharan Africa, and then Middle East and South America. So we do like 9 or so different things. Let's do eyes for the Netherlands. Oh, you know what? Let's make the eyes pink. See, it's blue on bottom. Okay. Somalia would be chaotic evil, Eritrea lawful evil. Wouldn't it be, or Eritrea? Wouldn't Eritrea make more sense as chaotic evil? Or no, I guess Somalia does make more sense as chaotic evil. Lawful evil would be something like Saudi Arabia or Iran. Do East Germany. You know the UK invaded Iraq and it's all his fault, but Blair has apologized? I don't think Blair actually apologized for it. Let's do France next, just because it's an easier flag to draw than the Union Jack. Let's see, let me find a comic that has the UK and France in it. It should be easy. Lord knows I've done a lot of comics with the UK and France. Alright, I can just use this one again. Shitty old comic. Whoops. France. Okay. Do the UK and your stupid Union Jack. Such an annoying flag to draw. I hate the Union Jack. Sri Lanka is chaotic neutral for South Asia. I don't know enough about Sri Lanka. Let's do eyes. Make this eye bulge out a little bit more on that side. Okay. So the colors. So I always do the St. George's Cross first when I draw the UK. Just gonna do that here. The saltier behind it. I mean, it's an iconic flag, but it's a bitch and a half to draw because it's super involved compared to like a tricolor. Like the French or Dutch flags. Let's merge all of this. Clean up the sides. Start filling it in. Okay. I need to add the monocle and the top hat. Do a light blue for the monocle. And then put a little glare on it. Do I use a drawing tablet? No. I use Photoshop and I use a mouse and keyboard to draw. My opinion on Country Humans. I'm not the biggest fan, but like, I don't really gatekeep art that hard. You know, like if people get joy out of art, I'm not going to deny them that. But like, I would never draw Country Human stuff myself, like unironically. It doesn't really appeal to me, but I understand why it appeals to others, and that's totally fine. I am a big fan of the rules that Polandball has because it's kept the content quality very consistently high for over a decade. And like, try and imagine your favorite YouTube or try and imagine like your favorite YouTube channels or any kind of content creator, and try and think to yourself whether or not the quality of their content has remained consistent, especially if it's as long as like 10 years. Very, very few, almost no internet communities that I've come across in my time have kept a level of consistent quality. The Polandball sub is the only one, really, that comes to mind. UK. That's actually a pretty good looking UK. I think it came out well. Country Humans is okay. If you ship countries unironically, you need help. True. Maybe Mr. Beast. I admittedly don't follow Mr. Beast, but yeah, I mean, I've heard like he's a good YouTuber. Like on a site full of terrible sort of clout chasing maniacs, he seems like a decent person, you know. All right, North America is done for alignment charts. So we've done Europe, we've done North America. I think we should do South America next, and then maybe the Middle East. But I'm going to call it there for tonight. I will probably next stream on Sunday evening, U.S. time, U.S. East Coast time. So I hope everybody has a great weekend. Keep an eye out for some great comics on the Planetball subreddit. I'll post that. The comic that I finished earlier this evening, I'll post that tomorrow morning on the Planetball subreddit. Check out the Polandball subreddit at all hours of every day, because chances are Aaron just posted a new comic. Every time you refresh the Polandball subreddit, you will see a new Aaron comic. And we're working on Polandball news, so hopefully we'll have a new episode next week. So again, everybody, have a great weekend. I will see you on Sunday. Take care.